The views expressed on the Nerd Realm are not necessarily the views of the Laggin Out Network or its advertisers. Listener discretion is advised. Do not try this at home. We are trained professionals.
Welcome to Nerd Realm, broadcasting straight from on board UNSC Infinity. I'm your host, Havok, and with me is the only man to teabag a hunter while I was alive, Mythic.
I definitely told you that in confidence. But that aside, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mythic, here to blast you with a Spartan laser full of knowledge. Let's do this.
We got a hell of a show for you tonight. We're a mere few hours away from the launch of the biggest game of 2015, Halo 5 Guardians.
Halo 5 Guardians, cannot wait. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's gonna be a major contender for this year's coveted game of the year.
I agree. I think it's definitely one of the front runners. That's for sure.
At least in the shooter gallery, but still, Halo's been around for a long ass time, so this game looks like it's bringing some major guns to the table. No pun intended.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those nostalgic things too, because the Halo started. Halo 2, I think, was 2004, so I think 2000 or 99 was when Halo 1 came out. Yeah. So yeah, it's been around for a long time.
And what we're gonna do is we're gonna be telling you pretty much everything you need to know about Halo 5 Guardians to get you ready for your gaming experience in just a few more hours. So hopefully this will tie you over until then. We're going to be talking about some of the story we found out from the trailers. We're going to be explaining rec packs, which apparently there's still some confusion about. Characters that are in this game, maybe a few maps. We're going to try to get you some little bitty details just to whet your appetite. And we'll tell you about some playlists, and we'll give you everything we know about Warzone.
Yes, I'm excited about that one.
Yes.
That one's going to be fun.
So let's go ahead and go first right into the story. The story picks up roughly a little bit after Halo 4, obviously. Master Chief's reunited with Blue Team, which, if you've read the novels, you know who Blue Team is. This one consists of Fred, Linda, and finally making her appearance, Kelly.
Yep, what a badass team that is.
And of course, hunting them is Spartan Locke with his fire team Osiris. It's going to be funny. You got Spartan 2s over in Blue Team, Spartan 4s, which are more or less the cheaper version of those if you've read the novels.
Yep.
Trying to go after, Master Chief and his crew with high tech, and Master Chief and his team, they're hyper lethal just by skill alone.
Yeah, it's basically David trying to hunt Goliath.
Yeah.
Not smart.
Yeah, it's just it shouldn't be done. Well, the story is apparently a lot of the UNSC colonies are being attacked by some unknown attacker, wiping out the colonies, which is the last thing they need because they just started rebuilding them. But let's go ahead and break down the two main leaders of Fire Team Osiris and Blue Team. Let's go with the Spartan himself, John 117.
Yeah, from all that he's done, and they're going to go and try to hunt this guy is beyond me.
I know exactly.
Saved the world four times, if you want to count all the games, I guess.
Yeah, 4 times. The Master Chief has been the figurehead of the series, and Oni, the Office of Naval Intelligence, put out a hit order on him because he refuses to obey. I'm sorry, the guy should get a free pass. Do you think John McClane listens to the head of the New York Police Department when a terrorist comes to town? No.
Yeah, he earned the right to do whatever the hell he wants to do.
Exactly. And then you got Spartan Locke, and for those of you who have seen that intro video for Fire Team Osiris, 343 really wants you to like these Spartans. They really want you to like them.
They really pushed for that one, didn't they?
Yes. And then you see the Blue Team opening, and you see who really gets the job done without a lot of flash. I mean, but don't get me wrong. Fireteam Osiris has a really cool character. If you played Halo 3 ODST, Nathan Fillion himself, Eddie Buck is going to be a Spartan. That just sells it right there.
That's awesome. That I did like that part that they brought that in there. So I was excited about that. And I'm just a big fan of Nathan Fillion, so anything he's in, I kind of enjoy.
Right. And yet, there's a couple other characters that are part of Fireteam Osiris. They don't exactly have really anyone pretty popular playing them. Nathan Fillion is the bread and butter winner of that team.
Yeah, he's definitely the headline name.
I mean, there's a Holly Tanaka, and I mean, pretty much we don't know exactly where this team is going to go as far as story. It's still up in the air, and I can't wait to play as either side because you're going to have two campaigns running simultaneously.
Yeah, I like how they're doing that because then you get both sides of the story, and also I think it'll be fun to play with Locke because it seems like he's running with a chip on his shoulder. Like he's in the shadow of Master Chief, and he's finally getting an opportunity where he thinks he can ascend that shadow.
Exactly, and yet what's funny is Locke's actually been in the novels here recently. I think during the Kilo 5 trilogy, I believe it was called. I'm kind of spitballing on that one, but yeah, he was trying to recruit Buck for the longest. And Buck finally said yes during one of the novels. I believe it was the one where the rookie died. The rookie actually dies in one of them. Spoiler alert.
Thanks.
It came out a few years ago if you read a book.
But what's that?
It's the thing with pages, like a web page, but in print.
That's why they made movies and video games.
Yes. It's easier that way. The rest of the team is Holly Tanaka and Olympia Vale. Those are pretty much rounding out the team. It seems like both teams have 2 girls, so yeah, there you go.
It's a non-sexist game, guys. It's a non-sexist game.
There you go. Oh man, but yeah, I mean, so we got some new characters coming in. We got some new faces. Some characters we've read about and we haven't really got a chance to really see. We have Linda, who's a mute on blue team. We got Kelly, of course, who's been Master Chief's friend since they were kids.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know the backstory of the Spartan 2s, then you're already a step ahead. The Spartan 2s, they were about 6 years old when they were kidnapped from their homes by the UNSC and indoctrinated into the UNSC as a top secret initiative. And these kids were freaking put to the ringer. They were beat. They were left out in the woods, but they became the best fighters that you could think of. I mean, originally they were to help kind of quell insurrections, but then the Covenant came, and that's where the Spartans really shine. They got armor, the armor that you see in the game.
They really thrived at that point.
Exactly.
I definitely, if you're just now getting into the Halo, world, I would definitely go back and either play the games or read the books, the early books, just to get an insight on where the journey began. And I think it's a very great story. Really love it.
Exactly. The best way to really catch up on everything is to get the Halo Master Chief Collection. That has Halos 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Also the ODST.
ODST for additional $5. You'll get the in-between game between Halos 2 and 3. I mean, and that itself is a really great game. In fact, it introduces you to Eddie Buck, who is also going to be in Halo 5, as we just covered.
So I know. Even if you're not first getting into, maybe you started on Halo 3, which I think a lot of people did. For the younger generation, I would definitely go back and definitely look at that. Especially look before the games. Like there's a couple movies that are out on Netflix that you can watch.
Like Halo Legends. Yeah, pretty much Halo Legends, and of course, bundled with the Legendary Edition of Halo 5 Guardians is the Fall of Reach animated movie.
Oh, yep. Yes, it is.
So it's going to be really great to see how that all plays out. And then, but that's the thing is when you're done with the story, there's always multiplayer. And I know a lot of people who skip straight to the multiplayer, which I don't really get. But
I'm not that type of person that does that either. I always, if it's especially a series, I always play the campaign first, whether it be Halo, Call of Duty, any of those types of games, that have a campaign.
Well, I mean, from an initial report I've read, now this might change. This may not be completely accurate. We won't know until actually the game launches. But the game is supposed to launch with 20 maps. 20 maps at launch, 15 additional maps, which will be coming out over the length of the game's life, which I believe is like a good 8 months. I mean, so that's what 35 maps.
Yeah, that's a lot, especially with all the different game types that you can play into. 35 maps is a lot. Oh,
and those 15 additional maps, you guys might think, oh, well, here we go. We're going to pay another $25 for it. No, absolutely free. Free DLC. If you missed that announcement back at E3 for that, well, you would just refresh your memory.
Yeah, and it's about time 343 is getting it right.
Yes.
More developers, and should do that. I think it's a crime to have DLC that costs just as much as the game. It's a crime. And 343 is throwing out free for you guys, and that's shout out to 343 for that. That's amazing.
Exactly. Now, yes, game development is pretty expensive, and everybody started freaking out once they announced the rec packs, which will be in Warzone. Which we'll get to Warzone in just a minute. That's going to be the kicker right there. You guys are going to like Warzone for what it is. Rec packs. There was a video 343 Industries released here recently, voiced by the incredibly talented Nick Offerman, or AKA Ron Swanson. And it kind of talked to you a little bit about what rec packs were. So in case you don't feel like going to go hunt for that down, allow us to tell you. Well, what rec packs do is that throughout the game, throughout the multiplayer, you earn rec points, which you can buy with these little packs. Or you can use real life currency. No, don't worry. It is not going to affect the gameplay.
Yeah.
Once again, let me rephrase that. It is not going to affect the gameplay.
And we'll do it 3 times. It will not affect the gameplay, everybody.
And also, just for the record, we are not being paid by 343 Industry or Microsoft. If we were, we wouldn't be doing this from the studio.
Yeah, you wouldn't be seeing my room.
Yeah.
But 343, you're watching, call us.
I mean, but what the rec points do and what you can buy rec points for is you'll be able to buy these rec packs, and they'll have different, armor types. They'll have certain power items that are only be used for one-time use, such as rocket launchers, such as the heavy weapons and vehicles and stuff like that, which are only used exclusively for Warzone. So if you go to Slayer, you're fine. You go to SWAT, you're fine. The only thing you'll be carrying with you is your cosmetic stuff, like your different paints, your different visors. That's what the rec packs are pretty much doing. Instead of having to go through and hit a certain level, you unlock it. Pretty much, it's kind of a luck of the draw. Even if someone pays $50 and gets like a bunch of rec points,
it's still a luck of the draw on what you get. And guys, you don't have to pay the money. It's the thing. You can earn it through playing the game type. So
that's how I earn it.
That me too. It's one of those microtransactions you don't actually have to use to get ahead of the game, and that's what's amazing about this. Because a lot of them you see, you're going to pay to get get better equipment, for in game instead of not just cosmetics. You're going to get maybe one like rockets and stuff like the vehicles, but the good thing about that is that, like you said, it is only for one game use.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and once you're done with that match, if you used your rec pack, then that's it. You're done. Yes, you're going to earn more rec points once the game is done, which then you can also restore. And you know what? Who knows? Maybe you might even get that rec pack back. I mean, who knows? It's the luck of the draw. So it's going to be a really fun. I personally like the idea of the rec packs. It's going to be pretty interesting. I'm happy.
I like the way they're doing it. I'm not always been a big fan of microtransactions. Actually, I've never been a big fan of microtransactions. But the way they're doing it, that it doesn't impact the gameplay as you're playing it to an extent where it's unbearable. I'm okay with it.
And what's good is you do have to level up in the game. You do have to level up. Like, let's say you get a rocket launcher that's meant for only like level 25. Like, you have to be level 25 where you can use a rocket launcher. If you're not there, you can't use that rec pack at that time.
Yeah.
So it's still gonna help out for those. Now let's get to what the rec packs are actually going to be used for. We know we mentioned war zones, but let's get to Warzone right now for you. Warzone is a massive map. It's oh my gosh, what is it? Mythic. It's what, 8 on it? No,
it's more than 8 on it. It's
16 on 16.
Yeah, it's a 32 person match, 16 on 16.
Yes,
but it's not just 16 on 16. You're not the only people. You're not the only 32 players that are in that game. Cool thing about that one, there's going to be Covenant and other enemies inside that game.
Yeah, so you're going to have so while red team and blue team might be squaring off, here comes the Forerunners, or here comes the Covenant. So I mean, it's going to be a massive battle. So not only are you going to have player versus player, you got to worry about the computer coming in, and you know that thing's going to want to be set on legendary.
Yeah, so it's player team versus AI. Because they're gonna be a big factor inside this game.
So I mean, Warzone's going to be a very very big thing. It's actually replacing Big Team Battle for a short time. Big Team Battle will be released later, but at this moment in time, it's definitely going to be Warzone. That's going to be your Big Team Battle fix.
Yeah, for those that like Big Team Battle, just try it. I think you'll like it. And you know, it's not going to replace Big Team Battle. It's something that 343 wanted to try out, just to test the waters out.
Exactly. And of course, you forge heads out there. As we said recently in a previous episode of Nerd Realm, Forge will not be available at launch. It'll be available in December.
In December.
There's not an exact concrete date at the time of this recording, but so. I mean, but you guys are going to have more than your hands full, especially in the playlists. Of course, you have your normal battles. SWAT's back, even SWATnums, which is apparently going to be all magnums. It has its own. I love
SWAT magnums. That was so fun. It was fun. You're gonna have your team snipers, your team doubles. You're gonna get your normal playlist that you had in previous games. Plus, you're gonna get this new one, Warzone. So,
yeah. So, I mean, I can't wait. Like I said, the clock is ticking on this. I mean, we only have a few short hours to go. So, let's try to make it through this Monday. Try to wait till 11, or I don't know if GameStop's going to be doing it. They've been doing it recently on midnight releases, depending on your area. It's the central time zone location where me and Mythic are from. They've been giving out the game about 11 o'clock, which has been fantastic. True. So, because it's 12 o'clock on the East Coast, so it's midnight somewhere. Me and Mythic will be on there. For those of you unlucky enough to get Halo 5, you don't want it spoiled for it, but you want to watch it though, feel free to come to our Twitches. We're going to be doing a multi-Twitch stream. Just be sure to check out the Nerd Realm webpage. You'll be seeing coverage about that. I'll be on Twitch.
Yeah, you'll have both of our Twitch links down there and below in the description. We'll have those there for you.
Oh, man, but we are so close, guys. So close. Like I said, let's try to get through this Monday, as hard as that's going to be. And we'll be teaming up with the Master Chief again and kicking Locke's ass.
Damn straight. It's going to be amazing.
And if you guys want to see us grow bigger than what we are right now, to help us give you even more in-depth coverage, maybe even get some of the developers on before we have to get a bigger presence known, and for that we need your help. If you go to patreon.com/lagginout, you can help donate and help us grow into something bigger. and we can give you even better coverage on future games in the franchises. Even not just Halo, Call of Duty, Mythic will be glad to go to that.
I'll definitely help you out with anything, whether it be Call of Duty, Halo. I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan, so if anybody wants to play Assassin's Creed, I'm always available for that. There's a bunch of different packages you can choose from. Even if the smallest package, we appreciate anyone who donates and helps us out. It's much love to everyone that does.
So, guys, we will see you on Xbox Live in just a few hours when the game hits. On behalf of everybody at Nerd Realm, at Havok, Mythic, and myself, good night, nerd on, and we'll see you on Xbox Live. Get ready to kill some things. It's going to be fun.
See ya.
The Laggin.